Please, let's bring in Jock Wilson now. And Jocko, there's a lot of things to get to with you, but I don't know if you saw the Jets ownership saying this isn't going to work long term, our attendance situation. Do you think we'll ever hear that in Calgary? Do you hear it in Calgary?
No, don't hear that at all in Calgary, because obviously Calgary's a pretty wealthy city. Calgary's, probably 1.5 million with the surrounding area now, Rod. And hey, the bottom line is they're going to get a new arena in 2.5 years. Murray Edwards is one of the richest dudes in the province and in the country, so I don't think there's too many issues here.
Have they broken ground on the arena, by the way, yet?
They have not. They're supposed to do it this spring, and if that happens, they are hoping about 2.5 years, kind of like what the Oilers did for their building. So that's the game plan. So like I've always said, put shovels in the ground. Once that happens, I'll get excited. So there's been roadblocks, as we've seen in the past. But no, I think it's pretty well a done deal now.
I want to ask our audience, by the way, we have a lot of Stamps supporters that write in. So if you have questions for Jock, get them in now. And actually, they are coming here. They're coming. I'll get to the... You said last year the Stamps would have a down year. And they kind of did, but they did go on and make the playoffs and go on the road to BC. What are you seeing this year, Jock?
We're number 9, baby. You saw the way too early CFL power rankings earlier this week. We're number 9. Hey, bottom line is, I get it. There's not a lot of love for the Calgary Stampeders right now. They were only a 6-win team last season. And, even though this team has the amazing streak of making the playoffs year after year, this is also an organization that has not won a playoff game in 6 years. So is this the team, of 2016, 2017, 2018? No, obviously when the Calgary Stampeders were the model franchise, everybody wanted to be the Calgary Stampeders. Right now, the Calgary Stampeders are playing catch up. And you go back to last year, Rod, did I think they would have a step back? Yes. Did I think they would be a 6-win team? No. I thought they would be a little bit better than that. But nobody foresaw the injuries that were going to happen with this football club. They got decimated. It killed their budget. It really, really beat the crap out of them. So I think when you look at this season, have they made some slight improvements? Devon Tate coming out of Toronto on that offensive line. I'm still not sold that Josh Coker is going to be, okay on the left tackle spot. But you've taken care of one tackle with Tate. And, losing Sevier, I think, was a little bit of a hit, but they think Bryce Bell is going to step up. Getting obviously your center re-signed and Sean McEwen, that was really important. So, hey, I think they brought in some pressure for Jake Mayer. Not a bad thing, because last year they did not have confidence going to Tommy Stevens, as a quarterback who can come in and run an offense, especially with his arm. So I think bringing in Matt Schultz is a good move for this football club, but we'll see, because as well as I do, I think the West is going to be very intriguing this year. I think Winnipeg takes a little bit of a step back. Obviously, BC probably is about the same. Maybe they take a touch of a step back too. Losing Matthew Betts to the NFL was a big blow for them. Saskatchewan, they've got to be better. I just think they have to be better. The Edmonton Elks, God forbid, they've got to be better as well. And the Calgary Stampeders are going to have to be better. So who doesn't make the playoffs in the CFL this year? Who doesn't make the playoffs in the West? Your bet is as good as mine. It might be the Stampeders. I don't know.
We might have to just throw the names up in the air and whoever lands. That would be as good a guess as what you and I have right now. I see the news today that Craig Dickinson will be joining the Stampeders as a consultant this season to his brother Dave, and that makes me feel good. Frankly, I'd like to see Dickie take a year off, but he's joining the Stamps. That's all kinds of good.
Yeah, I was talking to Dave a couple of, I guess it was before the CFL winter meetings, and I was asking him about Craig. And he basically said, well, Craig doesn't have a gig right now. He's just sort of sitting back, in Montana, just wondering what his future is going to be. And then when you see that news come today, hey, they're brothers. And family is always important to Dave Dickinson. So is anybody surprised that he joins the Stampeders organization? I don't think so. I don't think so. You couldn't bring him in as the special teams coordinator because Mark Killam has been so good here. So I think, bring him as a consultant. Hey, they've got a lot of consultants in the kitchen now because Huffnagel's a consultant, Dickinson's a consultant. But hey, all in the family. I don't think anybody in the league is going to have an issue with that move.
Not at all. Consulting's the way to go. So Ted in Red Deer writes in and says, hey, Jock, the Winnipeg Jets say that season tickets falling below 14,000 is not sustainable. Jay McNeil announced the Stampeders are less than 14,000. How much trouble are the Stamps in if this doesn't improve?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And the only thing I will say is, what truly is the focus for Murray Edwards? We talked about Murray Edwards. He's a rich dude, and I mentioned that earlier. And he's got lots of money. Is he using the Stampeders as a tax write-off? I don't know. Hey, nobody likes to lose money, so that is a concern, and the stadium is a concern. And I know Jay McNeil, as the new president, is trying his damnedest just to get more people and more bums in the seats, and how he does that, with McMahon Stadium. Wow, I don't know. You got to blow up parts of that stadium. They want to try to create more social areas. They would love to have like a pill zone like they have in Saskatchewan. They would love to have that, but structurally, excuse me, I'm not sure how this building is going to work out. So, hey, 20,000 would be perfect. 14,000 is not good. We will see how their game day sales are, because if weather is bad, it kills their game day sales, and if weather is good, they should be okay. So we'll see, but it is a concern. There's no question.
Well, I would say that you can't compare, respectfully, the Winnipeg Jets season tickets to a CFL team season tickets. What's the payroll for the Jets? $85 million, and the CFL's is $6.5 million. So it's not even in the same ballpark. Flames. Word association. Where are you on the Flames?
Well, hey, look, they're playing meaningful games at the end of February, which is not a bad thing. They're still a team that, is locked in the mushy middle. If they're a team, if they don't have Jacob Markstrom, they're not a very good team. So I think if they, and it's a fair question, because everybody is talking about the unrestricted free agents: Noah Hannafin, Oliver Shillington, and of course Chris Tanev. And here's the deal for the Calgary Flames. My sources are telling me that Craig Conroy has not pulled the trigger on a trade yet, because deep down he would still like to re-sign Noah Hannafin. So he's got a couple of weeks, to maybe sweeten the pot, or just really see where Noah Hannafin is. You make a Noah Hannafin trade, you're not going to make your team better. You may get some futures, but he's a 27-year-old defenseman in his prime. Now, he tells people around him that he likes the city, but how truthful is he with that? We saw that with Johnny Gaudreau. Love the city, love the city. Oh, I want to go back to the States because I'm an American-born player. Is Noah Hannafin saying the same thing? Is he saying, love the city, love the city, love the city? Oh, I want to go back to the States. And I think that is why we haven't seen the Noah Hannafin trade happen yet, because I do believe the Calgary Flames really would like to re-sign the player. But in 2 weeks, if that deal is not on the table and Noah Hannafin is not going to sign on the dotted line, then obviously you will see that player move. Chris Tanev, I think he will get moved for sure. When is that going to happen? And I'll say this right now, Rod, if they trade Jacob Markstrom, they're the stupidest people on the planet.
I don't like the idea of it either. I don't know why they're talking about it, but I guess we'll see. Jock, you give the best updates. I appreciate you. Enjoy the weekend, man, and hopefully we can do it again soon.
You betcha. Anytime, Rod.
QR Calgary's Jock Wilson, and host of Stampeders Radio.